Greetings, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And in 2022 and 2021, our team reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. So really excited about that. But today is a Sunday. And if you're, I think I can say safely in Ontario, you've had some good weather over the last week, good summer weather over the last few weeks. So it's been really great. I know people have been getting out, getting about, etc. But we're here today talking about a very important thing on Black Canada Talking. And just to give you a little background on Black Canada Talking, it's a online conversation where we highlight Black Canadians and Black Canadian events, and also give people from Black Canada and supporters of Black Canada opportunity to share their points and POVs on important things. And today we have another important event here. And well, let's put it this way, especially over the last number of years, Black Canadians and mental health has become a more important conversation topic, a more important, can I say, issue. And today we're really excited to talk about the launch of an informed mental health awareness educational platform. And it's titled The Understanding Anxiety, Mental Health from the African Caribbean Perspective. And before we get into it more, I actually want to show the actual website to everybody. So I'm going to show the website so people have some reference, because we like to promote good things here. So let's do it right here. Okay, there we go. So here's the website. Let's bring it up now. There we go. And it is a great website. I'm also going to share throughout our conversation today. There was the address of the website, and we're going to bring a number of people that have been critical in making this from an idea to reality today. And first person up, and he's in transit, which is no surprise. Oh, actually, we lost him. Oh my goodness. He was supposed to be, it was so important to have him, and we lost him. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a little bit of switch up in plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to have first up a wonderful lady who I've just met for the first time a few moments ago. Let me correct that. Lesline McEwan. And I've known her for a few years. Losing our special guest sort of threw me for a loop. But you know what? I'm going to bring up, and he's back again. So let's see if we can get him while we got Joel Harden. We lost you for a second, but you're back. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. Vibe. How are you?
And please be safe. You're driving, so
I'm not driving. I'm in a taxi. I swear.
All right. Fantastic. Well, before we get into your involvement in this great moment, give us a little background about yourself and why did you get involved in this passion project?
Well, look, I can't claim any involvement in creating this beautiful website. What I can say is I'm honored as the member of Provincial Parliament for Ottawa Centre to serve 118,000 people in downtown, including many, many wonderful Black Afro-Caribbean neighbors. And I've had occasion to speak to many people, many families, many community leaders, Dr. Vibe, and they keep telling me the same thing. We need more resources, unique, culturally appropriate. And I think this is a wonderful celebration today. It's a fantastic project, full creds and full props to all the funders, all the innovators. I think, sorry if it gets a little serious, but I remember knocking on the Abdi family, the Abdurrahman Abdi family's door when I ran for office in 2017. And I talked to police officers. I talked to everybody around that moment, everybody acknowledging that we need so much more support to reach people in mental health crisis and long before crisis. So this website is literally going to save lives, and it's an honor to be here today.
What, if you can, when you were first approached, what was your first reaction, and how are you feeling today with it now being a reality?
Well, I mean, look, I am once again confirmed today that when we need leadership, we look to the community. And this is exactly an example of that. I mean, politicians, what we can do, hopefully, is introduce people, help people make connections, try to find resources for great projects, but ultimately it's community leadership that matters. And here again is proof. Here again is proof. And I just remember, it wasn't long ago, we had Black History Month in this great city. And you look at all the organizations that put on amazing events again and again and again to let people know about the incredible contributions of Afro-Caribbean neighbors in this town. And this is just one more resource for wellness. And it didn't come from government. Government plays a role, but it came from the community. And that's where respect is due. So the Passion Project and all the credibility should go right where it started, and that's from the community.
Excellent. I don't know. Well, since you're not driving, can we spend a few quick more moments with you? Or
please, it's an honor. Please continue.
Actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring Lesline to the platform, and you can just anything you want to add on. Certainly. And, if you have to jump out, no problem. All right. Next up, Lesline McEwan. And I have been blessed to know this lady and her daughter for a number of years. She has been a passionate fighter for Black Canadians and Black Canadians in mental health, always giving insight, always wanting the best for Black Canadians and actually Canadians in general, but Black Canadians first and foremost, and over 30 plus years in this area, and really excited when she reached out to me saying, we're launching something. Can you help? All I said was yes. So Lesline, an honor and pleasure. Congratulations on this event. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, you know what? I'm really happy. It's been a long road, and I'm glad to be at this point. And I want to say thank you to MPP Harden for taking the time out, because I know you're a busy man. And of course, Dr. Vibe, you've always been there for us. And thank you very, very much. And at this moment, also, I want to say thank you to the Ontario Trillium Foundation, who funded this project. Because as you know, Dr. Vibe, we've been working in the community for a long time. And when COVID came along, it kind of knocked us off balance. And on top of that, the need for service more than doubled. Mm-hmm. So we had to pivot and go virtual. However, we went virtual with the same limited resources that we had. So when we reached out to Trillium and we were approved, we were really happy, because what it has done is allowed us to build this virtual platform where individuals could go and any time of the day, 24/7, in the privacy of their own homes. And so we're truly, truly grateful for this. And I just want to say the emphasis is on the culturally competent mental health care, because, we've heard stories and we know it's complex and there are many factors to it, but having culturally competent care and caregivers is very important. And that's something that has been, ignored or maybe unrecognized for far too long. And now we know, and the things that has to do with it are like uncomfortable topics for some people. There's racism, the socioeconomic and health disparities, and all these tie in to create the need for that culturally competent service. No.
Wonderful. I just want to bring MPP Joel in for a second. We know at times things can move slowly in government, at times.
You're being generous.
How was the experience getting this governmental wise in general?
Well, look, I'm going to flip back to Lenine, because this is the Trillium Foundation that came and saluted and supported this incredible project. So your question is best posed by the community leadership. So I'm just going to flip back. Without being diversionary politician, I think the respect and the answer should be coming from the source.
Received. Leslie, the question for you. What was the government response on doing this? Because, could be anything that we've tried, individuals or groups, especially from the Afrocentric lens, getting it done with government. How was that experience?
Well, actually, it was quite good, I must say, because there's a process where there are applications, there are deadlines, and if you meet the criteria, your application go in, it's reviewed, and if it's approved, you get the funds within a certain period of time. Of course, you don't get it all at once, but you get the funds and you're able to move on. So once you get it, it's up to you to move. And individuals and small organizations like us can, we are quick on our feet.
Yeah, absolutely. MPP Joel, I see you have reached your destination. So I'm going to politely say, I'm sure you have things to do. Do you just want to unmute and get some final words before you leave us today?
Well, again, just massive respect, Dr. Vibe, for this incredible moment. Again, I really do think this is going to save lives. And we need more resources, more culturally appropriate resources in this city, in this country. And just massive tip of the hat to all the folks who helped make this happen. This is transformational. And thank you. Thanks for the chance to be here.
Well, hey, and
Thank
anytime
you,
you're more than welcome to come back, and remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Amen.
Have a great day. All right. So fantastic. Good to have him on. And it was a great conversation. So Lesline, man, you know what? I'm going to bring other people up, but we're gonna have a little bit of a town conversation today because there's lots of moving parts here. But we have another new friend coming on the platform today. And as I said, I had a chance to chat with her. She was 20 minutes early, so we got a chance to hang out with each other. Yes. And the wonderful new friend is Nicole Bloomfield. She's a MSW, registered social worker. And I know that she's going to bring some really good stuff to the platform. So, Nicole, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's such a joy to be here. And, I've known Lesline for a while now. She's been such a beautiful angel. Even though I'm a practicing psychotherapist, I feel like just being around her and having conversations with her has been such a gift for me as a therapist and just as a person in the community.
Excellent. How did you meet her? Well, do you remember the first time meeting her? Well, if I'm correct, you've never met physically. You've only met virtually.
No, we have not actually met face to face. But Lesline, actually, just to get back a little bit to how we met, I actually just started my own private practice. I'd been working in the hospital for years upon years, and just started my private practice, and had been doing okay for a little bit. and I got an email from someone, and her name was Lesline, and she mentioned to me, would you like to join our team? Would you like to be a part of this community that is really providing basically pro bono support for Black individuals? And I was like, yes, I'm on board. And that's the history of it. Yes.
Lesline, why did you reach out to this wonderful lady at the bottom here?
You know what? Let's just call it a divine connection.
Yeah.
Okay, I received that. Excellent.
And of course, she had all the qualifications that I was looking for.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Nicole, I want to come back to you. Why are you so passionate about this area for Black Canadians?
I mean, I think the quote that always jump out at me is by a guy called Rashma Manikim, and he talks about the fact that trauma in a person decontextualized over time looks like personality, and trauma in a people or in a family decontextualized over time looks like family traits, and in a people over time looks like culture. And so when I think about the Black community and how they have been impacted by a whole slew of challenges, I think about as an immigrant myself, coming to Canada, and some of the trauma that actually is involved in immigration, and having met so many Black individuals who are coming through private agencies and are just having a really difficult time affording mental health care. I just found it. I was just amazed that here is someone who is willing to put herself out there to work for getting all of these supports that she has been able to get to provide these individuals who are generally struggling to pay for private care. And mental health is it's not, you know, it's a right. It's not, it shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right that every single person who has been impacted by trauma and be able to get support.
Wonderful answer. I'm going to parking lot this because I
Yeah.
want to come back because one of the many great things you mentioned, trauma culture.
Mhm, mhm.
And hopefully, if we have a little bit of time before we lead to that, I'd like to have a little bit of round table of the impact of trauma on Black culture.
Yeah.
Because to me, when I look at through my lens about what's going on in the world of Blackness, I've said it a few times, but people may not have heard it. I look at trauma, repetition, and symbolism.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So if we have some time after we bring up this astute gentleman, I'd like to have a little bit of a roundtable conversation about that and also the website. But I've never met our next friend. I've only heard about him. And I thought, is this guy like a James Bond? I keep on hearing about this man, but I never get to meet him. But today
Mhm.
is my day, and today is your day. We are blessed and highly favored to meet, at least me, finally, Bishop Rudolph McEwan, pastor, New Covenant Apostolic Church. Finally, I get to bring him up to stage. It's long overdue, and you are finally here. Oh, you're on mute. Let me just see. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, sir. I'm very, very well. I'm glad to be a part of this this event. Amen. It means a lot to us. And
Mhm.
I just want to, if I may say it for myself, amen. I thank my wife to be so faithful to this project and also to the Black community, which we uh, been dealing with for all these years. It's
Mhm.
like a dream come true.
Mhm.
It's like a dream come true. And I watch her over the years and see how she diligently just go and go and go at it. And I'm so proud that this here today has come true. And I know that uh, she love myself and everyone else is so happy about that, you know. And we are so grateful uh, for that privilege.
Pleasure, pleasure. I have I'd like you, if you're comfortable, to give your thoughts on this subject about mental health and Black Canadians. What are your thoughts? Because I've been blessed to have a number of conversations with your beautiful wife, but I'd like to hear from your lens. What are your thoughts when it comes to Black Canadians and mental health?
Well, over the years in the ministry, we see we have come face to face with a situation where it's so needed.
Mhm.
Uh, Sometimes it becomes so difficult to understand, but when you begin to get into it and to realize what the problem really is, um, we discovered that mental health is so needed, amen, so much needed um, to help our community, help our Black Canadians in this. And you know, as Black community um, and working among Black people in and out of the church, you discover that it's like they're just set aside with no help, amen, and stuff like that. So when you begin to become familiar, and you see the signs and the help that is needed, you see, and you become so sensitive with it that we want to find ways and means of filling that gap, because it's very wide, you know. People come and people get distraught and don't know what to do, where to turn, you know, don't know where to turn, and they come to the church, and we pray that God will help us to get some source to help our brothers and our sisters, and that's why I'm so proud of my baby, my wife. You know, she's in the profession, and she understands it. She knows that. She's trained for that. And I'm not saying that, you know, I try to give her compliment, but at the same time, I give God the glory. And this is what we try to do. In ministering to them, we do that on the body, soul, and spirit. Amen. We can't just say, God love you, and that's it. They need guidance. They need physical help. And that's where the mental health situation comes in, which is so important.
While you were sharing, Bishop, I saw, Nicole, you were shaking your head at a few things. Anything you want to add on to what Bishop was sharing with us?
Wow, I just want to thank him for sharing that, because I feel like what stands out for me, especially, you know, being raised in the church, and it's just when he said that, you know, sometimes while spirituality and religion is such an important part of the journey of healing, that prayer alone is just not, you know, the saying to someone when they're going through a hard time, "Well, let's pray for you," and then what? And you know, it just speaks to me, without faith, without work is dead. And so hearing him say that, it just really filled my heart. So thank you for sharing that.
That was really good. Lesline, question for you. Do you mind if I put the website up and just go through it with you? Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. We're going to have, you're muted at the moment. You got to take yourself off. There we go. Got it. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to put up the website, and you're going to navigate on whatever you want me to show on the website. I'm going to bring up the front page. We showed it at the beginning, but we know that many people like the visual.
Yeah.
So let's bring the visual up. There we go. Here we go. I'll be up in just a second. There we go. So let me just go from the top. So you guide me. I'm your assistant.
Okay. So on the top right there, what are I can't see it. They're really tiny. Even with my glasses, I can't.
No problem. So I got my cursor here. There's home, resources, register, log in.
Okay. So if someone is interested in the course, they would go to it, register if they're going in for the first time.
Okay. Let's
and
do that.
If you click on register, it brings up. So you create your account and your password is yours. And if you lose it, there's a way to reset it. We don't have access to your password.
Beautiful.
So that's it. Now, if you already have an account, you can go to login.
Which I don't, but we'll just go there to make sure. There we go, to make people see it. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to allow you to log into this one, which is mine, because I just use it for testing, and I will change the password.
Okay. So what?
So Lesline is the username,
Yep.
and then the password, which is a careless one, ACBMH 2022.
Okay. Let's make sure. Let's see if I'm a good listener. TikTok. There we go.
There you go. All right. And once the individual gets in, they could go further, put their picture, etc., etc. But apart from that, to the right where it said expand, I think there's something that said expand all there.
There you go.
And then they could see, scroll down and see. But of course, they would want to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
At the introduction. And if you click on the introduction, just quickly, we're not going to go through.
Okay,
any one of them.
Okay, I'm a little introduction. Where would the introduction be? Because I've just seen. Go ahead.
Just click on what you could see. Any part of the course.
Course progress. Okay, I'm gonna go to something pre-course questions. There we go. We have something like this so here's a pre-course. There we go.
Right.
So there's some questions here. Okay.
And so those questions are just to test, an individual's knowledge of how much they know about whatever the course is. In this case, this one is anxiety. And it's just giving them that idea of where am I at with this?
Okay.
And then you can move on to the next. It's not a test, and there's no certificate. So it's just kind of going through it to kind of like a psychoeducational thing.
Okay. So let me go back. So I'm back to the home, back to your page. Do you want me to come out of this?
No, you can expand again. I just want to see some of what we've done. Okay, so I really can't see it from what are those ones that you're going by there?
There's pre-course questions, module assessment, essays not graded, module. So there's a number of module assessments that are here.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Leave. Yeah, like I told you, I use my thing for testing.
Okay, so I'm going to log out.
Yeah, log out.
That shouldn't have happened. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I use it for testing, so it wasn't taking you through the
No problem. I'm going to go back to the website real quick. There we go. So I like the website. Clean. I love the colors.
Yes. Yeah.
I love stay empowered. And I love this statement here. We all have the right to heal.
It's it looks very simple, but a lot of work went into it to keep it simple and choosing the colors and
Is it okay? I'm going to click on browse our knowledge base. And what I've got to do is I've got to share that. Actually, it wasn't showing. My fault, everybody. I thought it was still showing while we were doing that. So my apologies with that. We'll bring it back here. Okay. Here we go. Right. So this is what happens. This is what you come to when you click on the knowledge base.
Yeah. And you could, go through and you'll see some.
I like that. Be yourself. Ask how you can help. Very nice.
Yeah. And if you choose, which one is it now? Because there's a place there where you could sign up for counseling.
Yes. So there's start learning today. There we go. Request free counseling.
Yes.
And I'll click on that, and there you go.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Yes. So there's quite a bit on that page, but it's, it's easy to maneuver to. And if someone is logging in just for the course, they log in to learn.acbmh.org. And that way it takes them directly to where they could log in or register for the course without having to navigate their way through the rest of the material.
Okay. I'm sure someone's going to ask, free counseling? Now, are you ready for the potential onrush of people?
Well, Dr. Vibe, I don't know if it's going to be prior to COVID, when most of what we did was word of mouth. Somebody would go, oh, call Pastor McEwan or call Sister McEwan, and they will set you up. But when COVID came, I don't know how it spread, but it just almost got out of control. So if people are seeking and we're unable to provide a service, hopefully that will be a catalyst for more funding, hopefully, because sometimes it seems as if this whole issue of funding to Black people is it's cyclical. It's kind of like the flavor of the month, right?
It seems there's some nodding of heads on that last comment that you made. Nicole or Bishop, do you want to add on? Do you have anything you want to add on about the flavor of the month piece?
Yes, it's difficult when it comes to Black people. There's a lot of things where the Blacks is way behind, and that makes it difficult, and I think it's time for us to try to what should I say, push ahead, make ourselves visible more and more.
Yeah.
In all that we do. Refuse to lag behind. We got to refuse to stay behind, because everybody will just go ahead. And I think there's a show that is called Left Behind, something like that. And we need to do something like that. And I don't know what Nicole feel. I don't know what she say, but.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to defer to you first. But, having worked with a number of clients that came through the New Covenant Apostolic Church, I can, just from my own personal experience working with clients, so many of them. And so when Lesline talk about that cyclical, approach, or, clients reaching out for support, I see so much of the trauma that is so complex and so severe, because as a community, we have been so socialized to just push through, to just survive. And you can do that only so much before it really, really takes a toll on the individual, the family, and the culture. And so for me, it's just really seeing more and more people coming forward that are being proactive because this program is in place for them. And they're reaching out before, because they're getting it through friends, and they're getting it through, different communities that are sending out the links. For many of my clients, I've been really just encouraging them to share it with your family members, share it with friends, and they've really been doing that. And so it's just being more proactive rather than reactive to mental health care.
Yeah. Want to ask, coming back to something Nicole mentioned earlier on, and Glad we have some space to chat about it. Black culture, trauma.
Mhm.
What is the relationship between those two entities from each one of your lenses?
I'll definitely defer to Leslie on this.
Well, maybe I shouldn't generalize this way, but I will. I think every Black person we look at in this society has been traumatized.
Yeah.
Intergenerational trauma that they face from day to day, but somehow we have learned how to, put it down, view it in a different manner, and try to change things or just kind of suck it up. But when the top blows, if I might put it that way, it's a total disaster. That's when it all starts coming out. Because first of all, we're traumatized as kids. With the best parents we have, there is still trauma because they have been traumatized and they pass down what they know. And also, there is a book called Body Keeps the Score, which trauma is not just mental, it's also physical. So it's just everywhere. It's too much. And I think the Black community, more than any other community, has been really traumatized. And I know somebody would say, maybe you haven't been to war. No, you have not been to war. But when you're living with racism on a daily basis, those microaggressions, and I say no aggression is micro, but just from day to day, it becomes tiring, And if I might use a personal example, the other day, I had occasion to be at the doctor's office. And I said, this is what is wrong. And her question to me was, are you sure? Now, call me whatever you want. She would not have asked a white woman that question. And then when I tried to explain, she was questioning my explanation. And then she said to me, oh, I could give you some painkillers. And then that's when I think maybe my husband was not too happy with me when I said to her, look, lady, I'm not here drug seeking. I'm here because I want to know what's causing my problem.
What?
Now, though, they have this stereotype that whenever a Black person goes into a doctor's office with pain, it's because you're looking for drugs. There's that stereotype out there.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So
go ahead. Go. Okay. Well, Bishop, how did you respond to that little incident?
Yeah, she said it, and it was harsh, but it was needed. It was harsh, but it was needed.
Okay.
It bypassed me on that wise, because I'm a person that will say it as it is, right? But although it work out like that, but it's something that other people would be other person, would be very angry. And this is another thing that when it comes to mental stuff, it plays on someone's mind, and they become angry and do crazy stuff.
Yes.
They become very angry because, as people who work with Black people and community, or whether Black or whatever, is very visible to us. And we can see that in people, and we have got to be very careful, because the last thing you want to know is that somebody meets us on the road and say, there he is, there she is, negative stuff. So we've got to be careful and know how to deal with when it comes to this mental health problem and situation. And this is why I believe and I really believe it on my heart that this program is going to go a far way in our community. I really believe that.
It's interesting. Leslie, I may have mentioned this before too, but a longtime associate of mine said a number of years ago to me that Dr. Vibe, every Black person needs a therapist.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know, and just adding on to what Leslie has said, many Black people, we face it all around, whether it's within family, then we go to a non-melanated society that we have to deal with it. As I tell people, I can't take off my Blackness once I come home.
Yeah.
It's there 365.
Exactly. And it's interesting you said that, within family. I know people where they have their young kids around, and the kids may be different shades of Black. And, they're referring to, oh, this one is light skin. And the other kid is starting to feel like I am not good enough because I am not, quote unquote, light skin. That's a word that makes hair stand up on my head, because you're using it to differentiate. We're all Black, and we're different hues, just like flowers. But when you use that so much among kids, and this one is light skin, and this one is not so Black, and I say, come, let's all go out there and see how we're going to be treated. We're going to be treated the same way. So why are you already traumatizing your child in the house by letting them feel as if I'm not light skinned, whatever that means, so I'm not good enough? They're going to see that. They're going to hear it outside.
From each one of your lenses, how much trauma within the Black environment compares to how much trauma outside the Black environment? Because I'm a stern believer that the greatest source of wealth in the Black world is the Black family. And the more I live each day, the more I'm just shaking my head on what's going on, and just a lot of Blackness. Let's put it that way. And a lot of it has nothing to do with dealing with the non-melanated world. So from each one of your lenses, how much work do we have to do in ourselves?
It's interesting you said, and I'll just make this one comment. I was speaking to someone, and we had this conversation going, and I ended up asking her if those on the outside, all the traumatic events and the racism were removed and we were left by ourselves, what? And she kind of just stared at me and she said, what? And I said, that's my question to you. Because we have to heal first. Yeah. We have to learn how to treat each other first. And you know what? I know there's racism, and everybody know that, like I'm one of those card waving ones, knowing it exists. However, we have to start from the inside. But when we say that, people start saying, oh, you're hating on yourself. No, we're not hating on ourselves. When we say, let's treat each other with respect and caring, and then we'll be stronger on the inside to be able to face the outside.
Yeah.
Bishop or Nicole, do you want to add anything to what Lesline has shared over the last few moments?
Yes, I think that self-confidence is very important. Self-confidence, and if a young people grow not having confidence in themselves, then they're gonna grow up just like that and not having, I quote, self-worth, and that is very important. Also, this is something that is driven into us as young people, how we grow up, how we're trained and stuff like that. And so it's need a lot of work from beginning to end. You know, that's all I can say there.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that, and I think the bishop just said that, and I have to grab onto that a bit about self-confidence. And a lot of the work that I do with my clients is really to remind them that when they were created and when they were conceived and born into this world, they were born with confidence and courage and compassion, and that is within them. And so removing that pathology of, what they were labeled as, that you are black and you are less than, you are not good enough. And a lot of that, even as Lesline spoke about, the differentiation in how children are treated in the family because your proximity to whiteness is so much greater. And so you are treated differently. And so it takes you back to the fact that, trauma is what is really passed on from one generation to the next. And so that is where we have to interrupt that and kind of just really, again, pour into our clients and into ourselves the fact that we have it within us. And even though our parents might not have, they didn't know how to, they couldn't, they had to survive, they had to keep us alive. And so they kind of did what they needed to do. The gift that we have is that it's within us and we can truly start the healing from the inside out. And I think Lesline will confirm this, that that's the work that we do on a daily basis, is to remind our clients that within them is all of these amazing qualities that unfortunately they might not have tapped into, but now as they heal, they're able to tap into it.
Wow. That was good. Let's see. I wanted to add anything to that.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said there, Nicole. And just sometimes when we get a client, it's kind of like you got an onion and you have to peel the layers away and peel the layers away. It takes time. And that is where therapy is so important. Like when we get funding, for example, what we're doing, you put a proposal in and whatever. Some people are saying you can have one session. And I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. Really, unless somebody's suicidal and you want to direct them, where are you going with one session?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we have 3 sessions. And to me, that's just that's playtime. You know what I mean? And so we need the community. Getting funding is great, but how do we become sustainable? Where's that going to come from? Because we'll get the funding and it's done. And trust me, it's hard work because I'm constantly having to do these applications, justifying it, and all that stuff. And it's hard to convince even how much we pay our therapists, right? We know that Black women, and this is research shows it, anybody who disagrees with me, go look it up. Black women are the most educated group in Canada, and yet they're the most underemployed and lower paid. Right?
That's trauma right there.
Right there.
Right there.
And they have to live with it. And so when you ask for some funding, and they'll fund you if you're going to pay, a therapist who has studied and gone through all they've gone through in the experience, and we're going to give them minimum wage, that's fine. But the moment you start saying, let's pay a living wage, let's pay, an amount that's comparable to the regular society. But it's a Black group looking for money, so we want to, And it becomes tiring because you don't want to fight with them and alienate them. But on the other hand, you want to stand up, eh?
Yes.
So it's a lot of work. And my thing is sustainability. And what do we do when funding dries up? You know, as individual therapists, we working through this program, some of the programs pay less than, you know, our hourly rate. So it's really a community service we're doing
Yes.
when we do it for the amount of money that we get reimbursed.
Yes.
So
And-
how many? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Dr. Vibe.
How many people do you have? Because my concern here is you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a good
no.
thing, but not a good thing.
No, because, and that's the thing. I think we're about, I reached out to, you know, you ask how, Nicole, how we met, but, you know, I did my research. I looked up counselors and some of them, and you know what? Bottom line is I'm a Christian. And I know that being a Christian, that's a spiritual side, but we also have to be practical. But I honestly prayed and say, Lord, I want you to direct me to the people who are going to be helpful to the people who are looking for help.
Yeah.
And I reached out. So I have about, I think it's about 7 or 8. So it's not just me and Nicole. There are other people that are working in this program with us.
Excellent. Excellent. Would you like to shout out any other people, Lesline? Because you would know most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you give me a moment here.
No problem.
And you know, we have more than one program going, eh? We have one, and the last time I was on your show, Dr. Vibe, we had one for domestic violence, which was only for women. Now we have another program, which is for men, children 12 and up. Yes, Dr. Vibe, men.
Yay.
ACBMH.org. Men can sign up there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
yeah, people are constantly saying, what about us? What about us?
Yes.
So they can sign up. They're not signing up yet, not too many, some have, but that. So I want to, you know, say a thank you to Melissa Samore, Bernadette Ngungu, Lori Ann McDonald, and of course, Nicole, and to Miriam George Estige, and Mammy, Kalambi is not accepting clients now, and also to Caroline Achille and to Amma Jimfo. Those are the counselors that we're working with right now.
Yeah.
I'm having a problem recruiting Black male counselors.
That
like
comes up
unicorns.
again.
Yeah.
And that is so important when it comes to the male counterpart. Men stand up, you know. Come forward.
Something tells me Lesline's gonna approach me offline and say, Dr. Vibe, what do you think?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not. But that we have talked before on the platform about the lack of Black male counselors, and they are so needed.
Yes. Yes. And when you do find one, they really are, you know, overbooked already. So
Yes, it's a challenge.
it really is.
Well,
And remember,
go ahead.
Dr. Vibe, Les, she wrote, remember she wrote this book about anxiety. I think I have one before me on my desk. Yeah, it's always overlooked, anxiety.
Oh, okay.
Anxiety in the pulpit.
Okay.
It touched everybody, even the preachers.
Leslie, and people think she's such a docile, but you like to shake some sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great book. And
look at it. And I didn't know you had your PR agent here too, Leslie. Got everything. So Wendy G says, why not? I'm wondering, Wendy, why not to what? So if you can put in the comments, why not to what? I'd like to know, because we're going to start winding down the conversation fairly soon. Lesline, what is the next step?
The next step, we want to try to recruit more counselors. And I must say, all my counselors are professionals. They're registered in good standing with whatever body they're with. Nicole, for example, she's a registered social worker with an MSW, and she's registered with her social work college in good standing, insured. And that goes for all the other counselors, including myself. And so those are the type of caliber people I have to recruit. And so I'm still on that line, but especially looking for male counselors. And the next step is getting more funding.
Okay.
And I keep working away at it. Of course, I have, Andrea, she helps me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would like to say, again, I'm glad to be part of the celebration. I know that it's not hard work, it's hard work.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's hard work, but we all realize that the hard work that we're doing is going to ripple for generations to come.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we may be dealing with the present, but it's going to affect generations to come. So I would like to thank each one of you, Bishop Rudolph, Nicole, and of course, Leslie, and everyone who isn't behind the scenes. The MPP want to thank everyone, because this is the first of its kind in this country, and I'm certainly going to push it wherever I can in regards to. I realize that the more help I give, the more help I realize is needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You have to. You're not in class. You don't have to put up your hand. Go ahead.
No, I just want to add that for the program that Lesline has put together, that I myself have gone on, and it's such a seamless program to go through. The steps are very clear. They're very simple, and anybody who is interested in learning about anxiety and our community, it's such an easy program to just follow. And Leslie, thank you. I think my clients will absolutely enjoy navigating the system.
You're welcome.
So Leslie, I have a question for you, and you're a frequent flyer when it comes to watching my content. I do have a decent amount of people from Black America that watch my content or access my content. Is this is this accessible for them? Do you feel this also applies to them?
Yes, it does. It does.
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
That's really good to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's really good, because again, I do multiple conversations. So this is good that I can share this information out to the global family.
I appreciate that, Dr. Vibe.
My
And
pleasure.
a lot of times in Canada, we behave as if, oh, it's all good, it's nice, no, there is no problem here. But that's not true. And the same problems they have in the United States,
Same here.
It may not be as magnified.
Yeah.
But we have the same problems.
It's a great point that you share, Leslie. And done over 4,000 conversations, and many of them with people that look like us, and from people all around the world. We have much more in common than we think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We really do.
Agreed.
So I think that's one of the blessings that I've had through my journeys, that I've been able to get lenses from melanin people all around the world, and all sounds the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I really want to thank everything that you have done, are doing, and will be doing, all three of you and everyone that's involved here. And I'm a strong believer that we got to start with ourselves first.
Yes. Yes.
And this platform is a great way of starting on yourselves first, because you know what? Even strong people struggle.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't know. I didn't mention Andrea Pierce, my daughter, but I just want to say, as they say, I just want to big her up.
Well, apple don't fall far from the tree, so now I know both branches of the tree now, finally. So it's all good. Well, again, thank you so much. Looking forward, and you have a home here, so anytime you want to share updates or have something to say to our family, they will appreciate it and embrace it, but it's up to them if they want to take action.
Exactly.
You're providing the information. So thank you so much. Everyone, have a great day. And remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lesline, again.
You're welcome, Dr. Vibe. Thank you very much, because I was hitting a crunch there for my deadline. And I was like,
you're no problem. Take care. All right, everybody, that is it for today. So there's the address, especially if you're melanated. I don't care where you are. Check it out. It may be based in Canada, but it's for everybody who's melanated. Because as I said, even strong people struggle. So really important to check it out. And I'm sure that we'll be hearing more from Lesline as the journey continues, because they deserve more funding. Because what's good for Black Canadians is good for all Canadians. Just remember that, family. So I want to thank everyone who watched live or on the replay today. A few final things before we sign off today. If you would like to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show, the best place to do it is on YouTube. If you hit it on YouTube, not only hit subscribe, but also notify, so you can get notified about upcoming conversations. Like us on Facebook or wherever you're watching this. Like, share, comment, etc. Also, would you like to promote your business or service on our show? Please contact me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. If you want to contact me, number of places. The drvibeshow.com, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Twitter at drvibeshow, and Instagram at the drvibeshow. You can watch replays of these epic conversations on the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and on the website. So as always, this is the way we close out. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And as always, remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Keep following us, keep it locked, and remember, check out the website. It'll help you and help those who love and care about you. Take care.
Listen.